Hey everyone. So, if you've been keeping tabs on AI coding tools, you absolutely know Cursor is basically the hottest name in the game right now. But what went down this past July? It wasn't just, your standard patch notes. We're talking a massive fundamental shift. In literally just 1 month, Cursor went from being a really slick code editor to a massive full-blown AI agent platform. The sheer volume of what they shipped in July 2026 honestly, it was staggering. It's kind of hard to keep track of it all, which is exactly why we're here today. We're going to map out this whole evolutionary leap, piece by piece, so you can see exactly where this tech is headed.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're taking a chronological journey today, covering intelligence upgrades, the agent era, routing and pricing options, the iPad revolution, and finally, how all this built a multi-billion-dollar platform.
Just look at this timeline. The pacing here is totally relentless. From early July straight through to the 30th, the Cursor team was dropping major workflow-altering updates almost every single week. Like this wasn't some slow, cautious rollout. It was an absolute blitz. So let's break down how this momentum built up, starting right at the top of the month.
Section 1. Intelligence upgrades. Before you can build an army of autonomous agents, you've got to have a powerful brain running the whole show, right? Enter Grok 4.5, which dropped on July 8th. Cursor's own engineers are calling this their most intelligent model yet. But the fascinating part isn't just the raw speed or the benchmark numbers, it's the actual scope. This model was purpose-built to operate way beyond your standard software engineering tasks. This was really the first giant red flashing light that Cursor was expanding its whole identity. They were basically telling the industry, look, we're not just a coding tool anymore, we're an intelligent agent platform that can handle complex multi-step logic. And then, literally 2 days later on July 10th, boom, version 3.11 drops. Now, a shiny new AI model is great and all, but these specific workflow tweaks, these are what actually change the game for heavy users on a daily basis. They brought in side chats, so you can run parallel conversations without messing up your main coding window. Plus, they added conversation search to instantly pull up old agent logs. I mean, if you're living inside this platform 8 hours a day, these are the quality of life updates that absolutely save your sanity.
Moving on to Section 2, the agent era.
As we shift into mid-July, we start seeing how we, the humans, actually manage all this new intelligence. On July 17th, we got the Plan Before Action feature. And this brilliantly illustrates how you build crucial trust and control in agentic AI. Because let's face it, handing the keys over to an AI can give you some major black box anxiety, right? So Cursor gave us this 3-step safety net. First, the agent draws up a full plan of attack. Second, you get to review it, and if it's going off the rails, redirect it midway. And third, once you give it the green light, the agent executes and gives you live status updates. It totally takes away that panic of wondering if the AI is about to nuke your entire code base.
Then, on July 20th, Cursor put out this super interesting piece of research called Agent Swarms and the New Model Economics. They ran a test where they had multiple AI agents actually collaborate to build SQLite totally from scratch. Seeing the old workflows stacked up against this new swarm method was wild. It's kind of like hiring a team of specialized contractors instead of just one exhausted generalist. By letting these specialized agents coordinate, they hit the same high-quality benchmarks but at a way lower cost. It was a massive leap in efficiency, basically proving that multi-agent coordination is the future of their whole ecosystem.
All right, Section 3, routing and pricing options.
So with all these agents zipping around doing heavy lifting, we hit a bit of a logistical wall. Compute power definitely isn't free. Users needed a smart way to manage their costs. Enter the Cursor router on July 22nd, which now acts as the brain behind their auto mode. It dynamically reads your request and routes it based on 3 modes you pick. You've got intelligence mode for when you absolutely need top-tier genius for a hard problem, balance mode for your everyday coding, and cost mode for when you just want to save your tokens but still need decent output. Oh, and they also threw in enterprise admin controls, which finally gives team leads the boundaries they need to restrict certain models across their whole org.
Right on the heels of that, July 28th brought a huge pricing overhaul with the new monthly auto-renewal plan. Now, this wasn't just them bumping up the price. This plan is packed. You get generous access to Grok 4.5 and the Composer models. But the real kicker? Always-on cloud agents. That means your agents keep grinding away in the background even while you're completely offline. They also bundled in iOS remote control and hooked up some new plugins and MCP servers, so your agents can literally plug straight into your local file systems and databases. Now, one thing that got a lot of attention in this update was a new, highly discounted local plan for users in India at 649 rupees a month. We know a lot of you watching from Pakistan have been asking, hey, does this apply to us? Just to keep it clear and impartial, no. Cursor hasn't launched a PKR-based tier just yet. That India rate is strictly geo-restricted, and no, you cannot just bypass it with a VPN. For users in Pakistan, the standard global USD pricing structure is still what applies.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing exactly how those global rates translate locally right now. For our Pakistani audience, here are the approximate PKR equivalents based on recent exchange rates. The hobby plan is still free, but the paid tiers start at roughly 5,550 PKR for Pro, all the way up to about 55,500 PKR for Ultra. On the organizational side, Teams Standard sits at around 11,100 PKR, and Teams Premium is about 33,300 PKR per user. Just keep in mind, these are approximate conversions, so your final charge is always going to depend on whatever your bank's daily exchange rate is.
But hey, there is a real note of optimism here. If you're hoping for better local rates, Simon Green, Cursor's head of Asia Pacific, actually said, and I quote, "If this low-cost India model proves successful, we may expand it to other markets too. So for everyone in Pakistan or other regions looking for more accessible pricing, there is a very solid chance that localized pricing could eventually make its way to you down the line."
Next up, Section 4, the iPad revolution.
Okay, we've made it to the climax of this whole July timeline. On July 30th, Cursor dropped what might honestly be the most requested and definitely the best-looking update of the month. They totally rebuilt the mobile experience and brought native support to the iPad. Guys, this is incredible! You've got split-screen chats to watch multiple agents work at once. You can do full PR reviews right from your tablet. They added richer diffs, so code is actually readable on a touchscreen. They even threw in Apple Pencil support. You can literally snap a screenshot of a bug, circle it with your pencil, and shoot it over to your agent. Plus, a new inbox to keep it all organized. This is proof that you can now steer massive AI agents from a cafe, a plane, or your couch, totally untethered from a desk. You could literally squash bugs from a beach chair if you wanted to.
And finally, Section 5, a multi-billion-dollar platform.
Let's step back from the tech specs for a second, because the market's response to all this has been insane. According to the latest reports, Cursor's annual recurring revenue has hit a staggering $3 billion. I mean, just think about that velocity for a second. That is a level of hypergrowth that most tech companies don't see in an entire decade, let alone in the short time Cursor's been operating. So the crucial point is how this translates to their overall worth. Cursor's current valuation is sitting at an absolutely massive $29.3 billion. No joke, that number is pure proof of their market dominance right now. They aren't just competing in the AI coding space anymore, they're literally the ones defining the economics of it.
And if that wasn't enough of a financial bombshell to hammer home the scale of this company, there are reports floating around of acquisition interest worth up to $60 billion. When the big players are circling with that kind of cash, it just validates Cursor's whole vision. The idea of transitioning from a tool you just type into to a platform that actually thinks and acts on your behalf, that's being viewed as the inevitable future of software engineering.
Which leaves us with this really provocative final question. With Cursor evolving from a standard code editor into a multi-billion-dollar AI agent platform in literally just 1 month, what is the role of the human developer actually going to look like a year from now? Are we moving away from writing syntax to just managing swarms of AI colleagues? It's a wildly fascinating future to think about. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer today. I really hope you found this breakdown as exciting as I did. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I'll catch you next time.